I'm stuck in clutter, partly due to fear, lack, and partly due to reluctance to let go of the past. How can I obtain momentum? Well, Terry, if you are in clutter, that's kind of like being in chaos. That's very good. Why? Because think about this. Your mind, survival mind, craves order, but nobody has ever created a new life from order. You do not create a new life from familiar. You do not create something new that's different from something that's familiar. Yes? So when we are truly changing something big in our life, you'll notice what you experience is chaos, right? You'll notice anytime you've had massive shifts in your life, what followed just before that was chaos, so much chaos. You ever left a relationship before? Pretty chaotic. You don't know what you are, who you stand for. You don't know where the next partner is. Yes, no, chaos. But eventually you find yourself in the next one. And maybe it's a better relationship. You ever quit a job before, not knowing what other job to find? Chaos. Yes or no? Ever had a health crisis? Chaotic. But maybe you end up looking after your wellness due to your illness. So anytime you're going through clutter and chaos, you should be thanking yourself because something great is about to happen. Think about this. Life is full of polar opposites. We know this is the yin and the yang, masculine, feminine, north, south, good, bad. Yes or no? Decline, incline. But not only is it just full of opposites, it's equal and opposite. If it was 3 feet from the table to the ground, it must be 3 feet from the ground to the table. If it's 150 miles from London to Manchester, it must be 150 miles from Manchester to London. What's the point I'm trying to get across? If you're going through something really, really bad right now, there must be something really, really good waiting for you when you work through that. Yes or no? If you're going through just little baby bad news right now, then there'll be a little baby good news waiting for you when you work through that, right? Life is not just opposite, it's equal and opposite. So that's a very good news. If you're going through so much chaos right now, there'll be so much goodness waiting for you. But don't see it as separate events. One is required for you to experience the other, right? Life is like this chessboard, if you think about it, right? Maybe you're stood on the black square right now that represents the tough times. Maybe the white square represents the good times. But just imagine as if you're about to take the next step, somebody covers this chessboard with a neutral color, meaning you cannot see the next step. So what are your chances of landing on black or white on the next step you're going to take? What are the chances? It's now 50-50. Think about that. It's 50-50. And if you think about it, life is kind of like that. You know there's 50% chance you'll probably land on the black square again. There's a 50% chance it's going to be a white square. Knowing that your life is like a chessboard, should you hate every black square, every time you're in a black square, knowing that that represents half of your life? That means you've spent half of your life hating your life. True. So how could you approach it differently from a sense of revelation awareness that life is full of not just opposites, but it's equal and opposite? How can you now approach this game differently? How can you begin to have wonderful, terrible moments, good, bad days, right? That is possible provided you begin to see it differently. Chaos is shaping you. What is diamond is simply a coal that did well under pressure. One of my favorite quotes, by the way. It's a great quote though, right? But it's true. It's true. How can you perceive it different? Rumi once said, how do you expect yourself to be polished if you're irritated by every single rub? What if we just embrace the black squares and realize it's just as necessary as the white squares, right? There'll be no real holidays without work. There'll be no real good days without bad days. There'll be no daytime without nighttime, right? There'll be no real incline without the decline. It's all part of the journey. And so how can you fall in love with this journey?